Number 12, we need a picture. Let's draw a picture of angle RST. They tell us that the measure is 48 degrees. As always, that middle letter needs to be the vertex. And when we refer to the measure, we're referring to this area being swept out like a rotating windshield wiper. It's rotating to the left, sweeping out this space, the interior of the angle. So that's angle RST, and its measure is 48 degrees. Next, U is in the interior, so let's place a point U somewhere here in the interior. And this is where it gets potentially difficult. There's a lot of algebra happening here. We're going to use a lot of algebra. The measure of angle TSU. So where is TSU? We need to see that first. The measure of angle TSU. So we've got a T and an S and a U. So that angle would be this rotation. They don't tell us how many degrees this windshield wiper sweeps out as it rotates. Not directly anyway, but they do tell us in terms of this algebraic expression. That blue area, that blue rotation that gets swept out is 6 degrees less than 5 times the measure of angle RSU. We're supposed to write and solve a system of equations to find the measure of angle RSU and the measure of angle TSU. I'm going to do a little algebraic step, which is going to simplify our work a little bit. Let's find these things, but let's represent them just with a simple variable. For example, and we could have used any letters we want. I'll let x equal the measure of angle RSU that we're looking for, and y will be the measure of angle TSU. Let's actually label those on the pictures. RSU, from the R to the S to the U, from the R to the S to the U, that's this blue rotation, and we're saying that that is x degrees. So let's label that in the picture as x degrees. And then the measure of angle TSU, from the T to the S to the U, that's this green rotation. We're going to label that as y. All right, it's time to build our system of equations. One equation is going to come from this sentence, and the other equation is going to come from our picture. Let's start with the picture. In this picture, we've got a blue part and a green part, and we've talked about the angle addition postulate saying part plus part equals whole. So the green rotation plus the blue rotation is the same thing as 48 degrees, the whole rotation. Part plus part equals whole. So y plus x equals 48 degrees. And then the algebraic translation says the measure of angle TSU, which is y, right? That is, and the word is always translates to equals. So we have y equals, and now we need 6 less than 5 times RSU. And RSU is x. So how do we represent 6 less than 5 times x? Well, 6 less than means we have to subtract 6 and make something 6 smaller. Subtracting 6, making something 6 smaller is 6 less than. So we want to be 6 less than 5 times x. So we'll write that there. So the measure of angle TSU is 6 less than 5 times the measure of angle RSU. And the green part plus the blue part is equal to the whole yellow part. There's our system of equations, and now we can solve. In algebra last year, you used either the elimination method to solve a system or the substitution method. In this problem, I'm going to go ahead and use the substitution method. The substitution method said, if you can get a letter all by itself, and it's already done for us, y is all by itself, then you can take that expression that represents that letter all by itself and substitute it into the other equation where you see that letter, which is going to be here. So let's come on down and rewrite this equation with 5x minus 6 substituted in for y. Here we go. All right, so y plus x equals 48, y plus x equals 48, but in place of y, we substituted that expression. Now we can combine like terms. 5x and 1x is 6x. Now we can add 6 to both sides. So when we add 6 to the left, it cancels out with a negative 6, leaving us just with 6x. When we add 6 to the right, we have 54. Now we'll divide both sides by 6. When you divide the left side by 6, we're left with x. When you divide the right side by 6, we're left with 9. So x is equal to 9. And come back to the circle that tells us exactly how to find y. Y is equal to 5 times x minus 6, which is 39 degrees. All right, we have found the measure of the angles that they asked us to find. X was the measure of angle RSU, and y, 39 degrees, well, that was the measure of angle TSU. And that's how we do number 12, which is a pretty difficult problem, I have to admit.